Hello, this is Mike Lanier from CarShowNationals.com. Let's Roll podcast with Jeff Thisted, my co-host,
Hey
and a
guys.
person that you might recognize, Bogi from All Girls Garage.
Hi.
And we're getting away from the real world and talking about the fun world, I guess, right now. Dealing with a lot of
Thank
stuff in
goodness.
Minneapolis.
Speaking
Yeah,
of the
so
fun world,
let's-
how many seasons have you got on All Girls Garage? It seems like, is it over 10 years?
9 years. So close. We are in our
Close.
9th year right now.
Close to a decade. That's,
Crazy, huh?
that's awesome.
It's insane. If you had told me 10 years ago that this would be my life, there's no way I would have believed you.
So how did you, I know you're a car girl, and I just saw we were talking a little bit, and we need to talk about your Lego habit. But how did this, explain to me, how did you get into the All Girls Garage? How did the casting process go? Can you walk us through that? Because a lot of people who aren't in Hollywood don't get all that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, honestly, I wasn't seeking out being on TV. It wasn't something that I was looking for. I'm a mechanic by trade. I've been a technician for a long time, my entire adult life.
So how did you hear about the opportunity, or how did you hear about the All Girls Garage show?
They found me. So
Oh.
so I was wrenching full time. I had a small business. I had a small auto repair shop that I ran and started in 2006, and was just doing that. I was being a business owner and being a mechanic and doing my thing, and I get a phone call out of the blue from a production company, and they pitched me on this idea. And the funny thing is I had been approached by a couple of other production companies previously, and most of them wanted like drama. They wanted like, we're going to put a bunch of girls living in a house together, and we're going to watch them try to start a shop together. And I'm like, not interested.
Yeah.
So when my producer called me, I was like, I don't think so, not interested. She's like, no, this isn't drama. This isn't throwing tools. This isn't cursing and yelling. This isn't, anything crazy. This is working on cars and educating people and sharing our passion and our love for cars with people. She's like, please just come down for an audition. And so I checked out some of their other shows. They looked legit. And I flew out to Florida for an audition, and the rest is history. It's kind of crazy.
Very nice. And where is your shop, or where was your shop that you had?
So I had a general repair shop in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I live now still. I sold that shop in March of last year. So it's been a little over a year now since I sold it. And I have another shop, Girl Gang Garage, which is not open to the public. That's also in Phoenix. And that is the shop where I do workshops and classes and all-female builds and trainings to introduce and celebrate women in the trades.
that's cool.
Very cool. I know you've done some work with Grease Girl, is one of my friends, Kristen Klein.
She's wonderful. I adore her.
Yeah.
She was very
indeed.
involved in the first all-female build, the Chevy Montage.
Okay. Well, I know her from, she was a waitress at I water ski, and my buddy who owns the boat owns a restaurant. And she was, she has that 50s look, and the restaurant was Cafe 50s. And then all of a sudden she asks me after years and years, you going to SEMA this year? I'm like, yeah, how do you know about SEMA? Oh, I'm going, and I build a car there. And it's like, wait, what? So yeah, and then I know she's Grease Girl, and so it's you guys have a very tight community.
We do. Well, anytime you're a minority, right? Like the women make up 2.5% of all automotive technicians, so we tend to know each other.
100%. And I mean, you're well known in the industry now. You weld, you got your show, you're certified, you're legit, but you must still get, she's pretty good for a girl.
I get, it's funny, I joke around often about, if I had a dime, a penny even, for every time I got a ridiculous comment like that, I'd be a wealthy woman. It's amazing, 20 years as a master certified technician, shop owner, educator, trainer, TV host, the whole thing. And at car shows, I can't tell you the number of times people will come up to me without saying anything, and they'll just take my hand, they'll just grab my hand and look at it and go, do you really work on cars?
Oh wow.
They just grab your wow, that's unbelievable.
And I've learned, like, well, my reaction, like, I want to be obnoxious and respond horribly to that. I don't. I have learned to just smile and ask them politely if they would ever do that to a man. And normally they feel pretty sheepish when I say that. So
They should, with the exception of I had a dream of playing a guitar, and I have no musical talent. I can play an air guitar very well, but a real guitar not so much. And I would get calluses, and it's like anybody I knew that was trying to learn the guitar. It's like, all right, let me see your hand. You don't have any calluses, but I play and they can rip. But it's yeah. So I would grab people's hands, males' hands, and just to make sure they could play the guitar or not.
don't grab people's hands.
Yeah, I'll thank you.
Especially now, you can't, Jeff. Come on.
Yeah, totally. But I remember when I worked for Chevy for a little while at the LA Auto Show, one of our product specialists was up next to, remember Jim Hall with the Chaparral? Chevy designed this car that you climb. It's this weird prototype deal anyways. And the girl is up on stage with this skin tight outfit, and she knew her stuff, but I said that line to her, Sahar, she really knows her stuff for a girl. And she called me out after that. She's like, I probably know more about the Corvette than you do, Jeff, and da-da-da-da. I was like, you probably do, and I won't say that again, so I'm sorry, and you're right. And yeah, so it's, you guys have
a phenomenal meme recently that said about a motorcycle rider. It says, you're right, I do ride like a girl, so try to keep up.
My nieces, they have these sweatshirts. That's what they say. Yes, I ski like a girl. Can you keep up?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, no, I can't keep up with you. My nieces rip. So tell me about your, I know we've interviewed Shag and have become friends with Shag from Iron Resurrection. And Shag and I have a mutual, I know my nephew calls me the Lego master. And I hold that, and I'm a Lego whore. And I just saw that you posted up on the Instagram.
Yeah, just a little bit ago.
Is that like, oh, there it is?
Yeah.
Nice.
So is that a Fiat or?
It is. Look, it's so cute.
Fiat 500.
It's a little Fiat. It's so cute. This is my favorite part of it, though. The roof. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this to the camera. It's got a little convertible top,
awesome.
like sunroof thing, and it works.
It's a rag top.
It's a rag top. It's so cute.
Oh, man,
I
funny.
love it so much.
So what do you guys do with Legos?
Building them, playing with them, keeping myself busy when I can't work on full-size cars.
Okay, I thought it was some sort of challenge or something. You guys are just hanging out playing Legos. I love it.
Pretty much.
They did a whole video on it. Him, Shag, and Bogi.
Yeah, we're both just Lego nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday podcast now, or you've been doing a Thursday show?
Instagram Live.
Yeah. So I watched that whole thing. It was interesting, and I reached out. I tried to contact Lego about it, but you get the good old company response of, because I said maybe it could be for charity, not my charity or anything. Oh, we want you to be a 503c charity. That's not even what I'm saying. I just be kind of a cool concept to have a build off with all the people on Motor Trend. That's what I was trying to see.
I know, that's what Shag was trying to get going too.
Yes. I contacted them and they finally got back to me. So then after that response, which really a company response, I tried to contact Will Arnett, the Lego Masters. He's the producer of that show. So I'm like, well, I'll just reach out to him and see what he thinks. But
why not?
Still waiting to see if he will, But we'll see what happens.
Never know. I like it.
It'd be kind of fun, just having just
so
one
much
show.
Fun. But you know what?
Did you say?
Even if not, we could probably do it ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Good.
Do you have any kids?
You said,
do I have any kids?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Do you have nieces or nephews?
Yes, I have faux kids. I have my kids by adoption. By choice.
One of my favorite things in the world was over Christmas and the birthdays is that he would get the Legos and I would get to build them for him. And now he can build them on his own. And I have to sit back with my hands, and it's the hardest thing to do is to not participate in the Lego building. It's killing me.
When I got my first little Lego deal, this guy, because I did this one first, and I was so excited. I was so excited about it, and my mom called me up after she saw my post on social, and she's like, "So now that you're an adult, I can tell you that when you and your brother were kids, we couldn't wait for you to fall asleep because that meant we got to play with the Lego."
They at least admitted it. That's awesome. They at least admitted it.
Totally.
Because what gets me is that Drew will come over to me, or my sister-in-law sometimes, like, all right, we ran into a snag, and then you've got to go back 6 pages or whatever, take the whole thing apart to get that one piece that's one hole off.
Yeah. Just like Shag said when he was building the Millennium Falcon, he made a mistake and he had to go back and 40 minutes later he had finally got it all back together.
Oh yeah. It's a nightmare.
So because I was trying to be fancy with recording it, because I'm ridiculous, and I was recording it in fast motion and slow motion and trying to do all these fancy things while I was doing it, I actually built it and took it apart and built it again.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm crazy like that.
She's got to memorize now.
I know, right? I have so much respect for the engineers that build these things and come up with this. Like, I know some people can just take a bucket of Lego and not know what they're doing or not have a plan and just build something. I'm not that person. I need the instruction book. Somebody made fun of me on social on my post recently. They're like, using the instructions is cheating. And I'm like, no, using the instructions is the only way that thing is going to look like a car.
There's 47 plastic bags here, man. I need the instructions.
I'm not that good.
Well, it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah,
it's amazing what they do.
What's your next Lego project, or what's your next your Lego pipe dream?
So here's my pipe dream is, so I have the big pipe dream is that one day I will have a collection of micro cars, little mini cars, like the Fiat 500 and the Mini Cooper and the Isetta and all of the little cars. I love the little cars, but since I can't afford them and I don't have room for them, I'm just settling for a collection of little cars. So little.
Gotcha.
So I want to do all of the little cars that I can get. I know they have a Mini Cooper, but they have a Volkswagen bus, which isn't really a little car, but I still want to do it. I don't know what other little cars they have, but yes, I want all the little cars.
All the Lego little cars, and then once you have room in real life, you're in Arizona. There's a bunch of real estate in Arizona. You can get your Isetta and your Mini.
Money.
I hear you. Now, we were on the Power Tour last year. Mike Musto and I did a bit. We didn't run into. We met this individual who it's a Nissan, not Vespa, a Nissan. It's one of those little cars, and it has, I think, 50 horsepower. And Kale. Oh, that's it. On the power. You are the best. So our director was Kale, and Kale's like, I bet you guys can't lift this thing up. So Mike got on one end, I got on the other, and we lifted the back end up, and the Nissan POW.
They are so cute. I was spying one on Bring a Trailer last week, and it went for $6,000, and I was like, I should have bought it. Not that I have $6,000, but I was like, that's cheap.
Everybody's on Bring a Trailer nowadays.
I know the prices are going up like crazy. It's not the deal that it used to. Bring a Trailer is now it's now big money.
Okay.
But it's fun to watch. So I want to I want them all.
So with the on Motor Trend, you guys have been in hiatus since March. I know Lucky's got his Hot Rod Garage he's on hiatus. And so you guys heard in March. Any word?
Sunday, I fly out Sunday.
Wow.
To start shooting more?
Tomorrow, I fly out to Florida to shoot more. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
a car show. Hey, it's a carsshownationals.com Let's Roll podcast exclusive.
Exclusive.
Very
exciting.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I know you just did a post saying something about, like, sound like something was going to be happening. So I just saw that.
Soon. Yeah. I'll be posting more about it over the next couple of days. But yeah, I fly out like stupid early tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for joining us today then.
Yeah, and that'll be starting season 9, or is that shooting season 10?
This is still season 9. So we started season 9. We do like a calendar year. So season 9, we started filming in January, and normally we would have ended filming it in like October, but we obviously took a big break. Yeah, we don't do like the typical filming schedule that a lot of the more say reality-based shows. Like, we're not a reality TV show. We're a studio show, and so we're not constantly. They're not coming into my personal shop or Faye's personal shop. Like, we're not filming for a couple of weeks and then that's it. We film 1 week a month throughout the year. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So because we've been paused for the last, March, April, May, we now are filming longer each time we go out. So we'll do 3 episodes instead of 2 episodes each time we go out. But
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, they said, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, now, you were on the Car Owner Virus podcast that we had. And thanks for joining that, too. Thanks to Shay. By the way. Yeah, Shag kind of got you. Shag got you involved with that, so thanks to Shag for that.
Yeah.
Literally, maybe a couple days after that, you got news that someone wasn't going to be on your show, and that was just literally right after you were on our podcast. Did you even know about that, or is that just a surprise to you?
No, I
knew
know
about it. Okay.
Yeah.
You couldn't say anything, probably. You couldn't probably say anything, so. But
yeah, I mean, it was up in the air for a little while. Like, we kind of knew it was likely, but it had only become like official a little bit before then, but we didn't make it publicly official until the first episode aired, and then that was
okay. Yeah. I mean, she's on Garage Squad, and I'm sure that's taking up a lot of her too.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, she suffers from the same disease that I think a lot of us suffer from, the superwoman, I can do everything. And you can for so long, and then you get to a point, and I've been there too, right? For me, it was selling my shop. For her, it was leaving All Girls Garage, and at a certain point, you realize, like, holy crap, I'm human, and there's only 24 hours in a day, and there's only so many things that I can do, and if I keep pushing myself like this, I won't be able to do any of them. So, so something has to go, and that's the same reason. In March of last year, I sold my shop, so. It's the same reasoning. So I give her a lot of props for being self-aware enough to say I can't keep doing everything.
Right.
We miss her. Why did you sell your shop?
What's that?
Why did you end up selling your shop? It was time?
It was time. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I miss it terribly in a lot of ways, and there's part of me that wonders if I made the right decision, being real. But it was the same thing. I was doing 14 things, and I was feeling like I wasn't doing any of them to the best of my ability. And I was tired all the time, and I was stressed all the time. And if I wasn't working one job, I was working another job. And if I wasn't working that job, I was working the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th job, and sleeping 2 hours a night, and just like I was killing myself. By the time when I did that all-female build, the Chevy Montage, in 2017, I was running my shop. I was running 180, the repair shop. I was doing Girl Gang Garage. I was doing the all-female build. I was doing all girls garage. I was doing coaching and teaching for World Pack. I was doing. And by the time SEMA was done, like I tapped out for a few months. Like, I checked out of reality, and people were worried about me because I was just so drained and so exhausted, and it had taken everything out of me. And I just knew at that point, I'm like, something has to give.
Right. And it wasn't a contract thing, because I know some people, they get on a TV show and they're like, you can't have a shop while you're doing a show.
Oh, God, no.
You got to sell it, So none of that. So
No,
that's
they
good.
were very supportive of
Yeah.
all that I was doing. There was no issues there whatsoever. It was purely
Yeah.
a personal decision.
Right. Well, that's
Because
good.
it was either I quit the show or I quit the shop. It
Yeah.
was
Right.
one of the two.
Did the show bring business to the shop? Did the show help with that?
No, not really. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. My shop was a general repair shop. So I was fixing John and Jane Doe's car and keeping them safe on the road. I was fixing 2014 Honda Accords and putting a water pump in it. Like I was doing general stuff, right? And the TV show caters to car enthusiasts and classics and modifications and hot rods, and so I would once in a blue moon get a phone call from somebody at the shop saying, you know, I've got this 1970 whatever, right? Hot rod, something. And like, we don't actually even work on those at our shop. So
Wait, seriously?
we didn't work on anything older than OBD2.
Oh, that's funny. You build
Because
hot rods on the TV show, but at your regular shop, you would only service newer cars.
Yeah. Because when you choose a business model, you have to kind of choose one thing to specialize in, and our specialty was keeping John and Jane Doe safe on the road and being every man and woman's shop, and being the shop that made people who didn't know about cars feel comfortable having their car serviced, and that was our business model. So we knew that we were really good at fixing OBD2 and newer vehicles. And when you try to dilute and do too many things, you wind up not being good at any of them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So did any of your John and Jane Doe customers know that you were a TV star celebrity hot rod builder?
Some did.
But not a lot. Okay.
No, and that might have been a failure on my part. Like I might not have promoted it as well as I could have. I'm not so great at self-promotion. Like I just like doing what I do, right? So self-promotion was hard for me, and I would sometimes have customers say that, like, you should scream it off the rooftops that as seen on TV, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know.
But again, if it was a hot rod shop, then that's one thing because that's what you're doing on the TV. You can see what we do here, but if you're working on Hondas and Toyotas, then they don't care, and it's not going to affect them if you're a celebrity working on their car.
Yeah, so it was interesting. It didn't really. People ask me that all the time. Like they didn't really. There were two different paths, and they just didn't. Yeah.
Well, you have the perfect name because you can say Bogi and everyone knows who they're talking about. You know, who we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so she can just use your first name. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Bogi, yeah.
Well, that's because nobody can pronounce my last name.
Can you?
There you go.
How do you pronounce it?
Latiner.
Oh, see, I've been wrong. It looks like Leitner almost.
Yeah. Most of the time, if people see it, they can't pronounce it, and if they hear it, they can't spell it. It's one of those weird names.
How do you say Mike's last name?
Mike's last name? Linner?
Mike. See, exactly. That's what I said for the first year, and then he finally corrected me like, dude.
What is it?
It's Lanier.
Lanier.
A lot of people that know me in the car world don't even know my last name. You know, they don't say it right. I never even correct them. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. We're not as involved as like hockey, where they've somehow managed to figure out how to pronounce even the most complicated of last names. You notice that, how complicated the last names in hockey are? And they always get them right. But somehow the rest of us haven't caught on to that.
Yeah, that's true. So
Canadian Hockey Night.
So what's next? We might do another car owner virus, but we might have to call it something else, like I don't know. We'll think of a name.
Well, that was kind of interesting because that was right at the beginning, right? Like that was before the shutdowns really started, and it would be interesting to kind of bookend that with do like a before and after. Because our perception of things has probably changed quite a bit. You know, I know mine has from the first couple of days of things. I remember sitting on that car owner podcast, you know, saying, who knew that the end of the world would look this calm and this normal? Because at that time it was, right? And now
it's just dragged on. It's dragged on
so
forever.
Different. It's so different. So,
and people are really, I think people are really sick of sitting at home for this long, and you know.
The sitting at home is one thing, but all the disinformation. You get one thing one day, and then they dispel that the next day. They come up with something else. It's been since last year this has been going on, and there's no hard information that.
I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest challenge is the lack of clear leadership and clear information, and the contradiction between
Yep.
within our own, like within individual leaders, but also between the leaders. Like there's so much contradiction. There's so much lack of clarity, and like, do we need to get the country back running again? Absolutely. Do we need to be doing it in a safe and conscientious way? Absolutely. And it seems to be that we're polarizing into the camp of like those who wear masks and think that we should be careful, and those who think that the whole thing is a hoax. And instead of like just being smart, like let's get back to business, but let's be smart about it. And instead we're creating all this tension, and it's unfortunate to see, really.
Right.
I agree, because I showed up I'm up at Willow Springs right now for this Optima Ultimate Streetcar event, and I walk in, and no spectators are allowed, but I know a guy who knows a guy. And immediately as I walk in the property, they fling the mask at me. So I got the mask, and some people are wearing them, some people aren't. And then a few weekends ago, there was this quarantine car cruise in Orange County. I saw a few people. So I was doing a video, and then I posted the video on YouTube and got yelled at by this woman. Think of other people, and FFC, and I don't know whatever she said to me. And I was like, I apologize. I hope I didn't whatever, but nobody else is wearing a mask, and I'm not going to wear one right now either. So what are you going to do?
I'm in the mask wearing camp. I'm not going to lie, but I'm also in the camp of let's respect each other, right? Like if you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. But if you see me wearing a mask, keep distance from me. Keep distance from me. Because I'm obviously trying to, right? So let's be respectful of one another, and let's not judge each other. I remember at that cruise that I think the one that you're talking about, Jeff, there was Chris Jacobs was there, I believe, or he was something similar. And he posted, and he was wearing a mask, and there were people yelling at him in the comments saying that he was being foolish for wearing a mask. And I'm like, whoa, people, like we don't know each other's situation. You know what I mean? Like you don't know if somebody.
They're yelling at me for not wearing a mask. They're yelling at him for wearing a mask. We can't win.
Totally. Like let's just respect each other. Let's be easy and respect each other, and know that we don't know each other's stories, and we don't know if he's got a loved one who's compromised. We don't know if. He's compromised. We don't know. So let's be nice to each other.
But that I heard from my friend Mike Cotton, who's in St. Louis, told me that that quarantine cruise was all over his social media, and apparently all over everyone's social media. It was just so nice to get out of the house. It was a beautiful day. All the cars were running. I know Kevin Hart showed up, the real Kevin Hart, the movie star comedian. And I don't care about celebrities. I just like to see the cars. But it was cool to see everybody out and about. And I don't care who you are. I just want to see your car. So I forget your name, but you drive a 1970 Chevelle SS 454 with 411 gears and a Tremec. Yeah, that's me, but I forget your name. Yeah.
That's all right.
I do the same thing. I know there's too many people in the, around here. There's a lot of cars. We go to this, we've been doing this cruise for like the last 4 weeks, and we're getting like 1,000 cars. So it's turned into something pretty big. The police are trying to work with everyone. There are crowds of people, though. I mean, I'm like, okay, so much for social distancing here. But it's just people are they're putting all lawn chairs along the road and everything. So it's pretty cool to see.
That's awesome.
And most of the city is backing it. There's some people complaining, of course, the noise, but it's only for like 3 hours, not all day. Man, it's not gonna be all day.
If they're wearing them, if there's a car cruise, they're going to complain. If there's no car cruise, people are going to complain.
People will find something to complain about no matter what.
Exactly. So now you don't have a shop anymore in Phoenix, but you've got your private. You do your private all-girl builds, and you said workshops.
Yeah.
What kind of workshops are these?
So that shop is also in Phoenix. That's Girl Gang Garage, and we do the all-female builds, but then we also do like intro workshops and classes. So intro to metalworking, intro to welding, intro to body work, intro to paint, intro mechanical, kind of like all. Why are you laughing?
Intro to welding. Our mutual friend Jesse Combs called me out years ago, and she's a welder. I can't weld. And my buddy Cotton said he's going to teach me at some point. But then Dwayne Maddox from Miller said, Jeff, when we're at SEMA, this year at SEMA, have Mike bring the cameras and we're going to give you a welding lesson at SEMA. It's like, I'm in. I'm going to learn how to weld finally. It's going to be very special.
Nice.
This is where we're going to have Bogi join in, too, because we have a 7-year-old that wants to do some welding, and she's
That's right, Nora.
Invited to SEMA. So she's a young gal who knows how to build a torque converter.
It's so awesome. I love the videos.
Yeah, so they want to meet you, of course, so we should all make that happen. So,
definitely.
She's really just getting into doing that stuff. So
why don't we have her on today with us?
She was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, she was on a couple weeks ago. But I posted on Nelson's thing saying that we're interviewing her today because Nelson's like, we've been trying to get a hold of Bogi.
Is she good on camera? Is she talk well?
She speaks very well, but she's 6 years old, so her attention span is very short. But she speaks very well, and I told my brother about it. Like, dude, watch this thing. She built a torque converter for us on camera. My brother, wait, a 6-year-old built a torque converter? I'm like, dude, a 6-year-old built a torque converter. It's legit.
And she wasn't being prompted, right? She wasn't being like...
No, she knew where the vanes went. She knew where the bearing went. She put that in. This isn't working right, Dad. Take that back out. He took it out. She put it in, made it run. He put it back in. It spun. It was, she's badass.
I need to get her on one of my happy hours for a little bit. Obviously, for a short amount of time.
Well, I have to meet up at I have to meet up at the Miller Welder booth.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be kind of a cool thing if we get all together and do that. Jeff's gonna learn how to weld. Maybe Bogi will have to teach it. Maybe Jeff.
Heck yeah! I'll get multiple lessons. This is awesome.
Dwayne's gonna teach him. So it should be fun.
Definitely.
Jeff's so busy at the track.
I know, Mr. Popular over there.
Yeah, he's at the track.
Yeah, I'm in the track. I'm in the Optima batteries in their big semi truck. Look.
Nice.
It's so hard,
dude. I'm in their conference room. I'm in their full-on private. This is their SEMA rig conference room. You know, the meeting in progress. So I'm the one the jerk who's like, you mind if I sit in here for a podcast, guys? Yeah, who's in there? It's just Jeff. Like,
You've taken over their truck. You've taken over their truck.
And there's a refrigerator over there with Gatorade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Some comfortable looking chairs. I mean, you're just taking over the whole deal.
Yeah, it's so nice. So you're in Phoenix. Have you ever gone to you ever go to the Scottsdale Good Guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We actually had our most recent all-female build was at this most recent Good Guys.
Okay. I was about to attack you, but the reason I haven't seen you is because I'm trapped over my Not So Easy Up over in the autocross. So next time you go to the Good Guys, head on over to the Not So Easy Up and give me a wave or a hello, because I'm trapped there all day long. I mean, trapped with all the love in the world because it's super cool.
Rough life.
But yeah, I don't get out very much.
Jeff.
Yeah, right. So yeah,
stop by the Good Guys. Go to Barrett Jackson. Do Barrett Jackson.
Do I go to Barrett Jackson? Oh yeah. I generally work at Barrett Jackson every year. They have an area that they call Restoration Row, which is a little area with like interactive demos and things going on or builds happening. And so for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe they've had me emceeing that. So I get to hang out all day on the microphone, telling people about what's going on. So it's cool. We actually had what's that?
Not so bad, right?
Not so bad. In fact, last year was really fun because this past January we had High Yellow 56, the 56 Chevy pickup that we built that was at SEMA last year. We brought that to Barrett Jackson, and we actually had a booth in Restoration Row at Barrett, and we did a live conversion from carbureted to Phytech fuel injection while we were in the booth. So we had a bunch of the ladies from the build came out, and we did it while everybody was watching and teaching people as we went. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool.
Yeah, see, I got Holly on my car, but I know a girlfriend of ours, Heather Storm, she's got Phytech on hers, and I know Phytech, that's the main stage on the Power Tour, and Phytech Mike is their customer support. He's the nicest guy, Mike over there.
They're sweethearts. They helped us. They guided us through the install. They were super respectful and super helpful, and they knew that we were working with some ladies who had never worked on cars before, and they were, they let us do it, and that was really cool. But they provide great support. They're really nice guys. And it's funny because you ask 20 different mechanics, they'll give you 20 different opinions about the same question, right?
Yep.
So it was funny when I first mentioned I was doing FiTech. I had like half of the people saying, FiTech sucks, go with Holly. And then the other half of people going, Holly sucks, go with FiTech.
That's kind of why I brought it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. And then I finally had somebody, which I really appreciated. He's like, you know what? You're going to hear people complain about both of them. And here's the reason. They're good for different purposes. And if you want to daily drive your vehicle, FiTech's probably your better option. If you're not daily driving it, and this is more of you're looking for power and performance, Holly's probably your better option. And I was like, that's probably a fair assessment, right? Like different applications. And that's the thing we forget about in the automotive world a lot, because God, we're full of opinions, aren't we? Like, oh, you've got a whatever car, you should do a whatever to it. And like, we're just full of opinions, right? Like, this is what you should do. This is what I would do if I were you. We're just armchair general in it all over the place. And
Right.
really, like, we forget to ask, what do you want the vehicle to do? Like, how do you want to use it? What is this for? What's the purpose? Because that's going to change the answer,
And that's it. And that's what's amazing in this day and age. You yank off the old carb, and for literally $9.99, I mean, you're getting a throttle body fuel injection with a little computer. It learns on its own. And the damn thing got me from the top of Pikes Peak. And I actually, some idiot, the car shifted down and stalled on me 100 feet before the summit of Pikes Peak. So I had to restart it. It started right up at 14,000 feet. And then the next week I was down 282 feet at the bottom of Badwater. They start every time, and the hot starts are amazing. The cold starts are amazing. The fuel, the fuel economy is amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I love the new electronic fuel injection.
Yeah, but then of course you've got the purists who are like, no, keep it carbureted. So you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
It's true. I mean, as far as the purists. Yeah, as far as the purists go, if you're in a high-speed pursuit and the police are chasing you, at least with the carburetor, they can't use the magnetic pulse to get you.
Right.
Everybody's got their reasons.
That's the only reason I keep my carburetor.
Just try not being part of a high-speed chase. I mean, that's a crazy concept, I know.
Where's the fun in that, Bogi? Where's the fun in that?
Well, Jeff does
Roscoe
drive
P.
across the
Coltrane in
country.
Hot Pursuit.
There's probably some stories Jeff's never told me then, since he drives across country all the time.
You've got no idea.
All right. We have anything else? What do you think? Oh, we gotta talk about where we can find Bogi, and I know she's got shirts.
Bogi's
shirts.
Oh yeah, you got shirts. Where are your shirts at?
What is that?
You sell shirts.
This is your Bogi.
Yeah,
this is your Bogi's Garage.
Oh.
All Girls Garage at Motor Trend TV. She's owner of Girl Gang Garage, and then Tech Force Foundation ambassador. So where can we get your shirts at?
So T-shirts like this one.
Yeah.
Wearing it. Look at that.
Nice.
They are available on my Girl Gang Garage website. And if you go to my Instagram, there's a link tree. So the link in my bio will take you there.
Girl Gang Garage, followed by Heather Storm LA and Shag Arrington. I know both of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bogi's Garage on Instagram and Facebook. Girl Gang Garage on Instagram and Facebook. There's a link tree in both of them that'll take you to the merchandise. We'll take you to the website. We'll take you to a place to donate and support what we're doing. There's scholarship resources. There's all sorts of good stuff in the links on both of the pages.
I'd like to see some of the ladies, the gals following me buy some of those shirts in Minnesota here. That'd be great.
There you go. Awesome. I'd love that. And then, of course, you can see us on Motor Trend every Saturday. So Faye and I every Saturday morning, where you can see us on the app anytime you want. If you want to go wild and crazy, You can just binge watch all 8 seasons thus far and just go crazy. So
I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with it. You got the marketing. They've got the marketing down with you. With it, you can watch this at Motor Trend on the app. You can watch the Motor Trend TV. They love the app.
You got it. Yeah.
they do. They're really trying to push the app, which makes sense to me. I mean, that's how I watch it because I don't have cable, but I know not everybody does. So
Yeah, if you don't have cable, it makes total sense.
But see, that's what gets me. My dad spends $100 a month for cable, and then they want me to spend $1.99 or $4.99, however much for the app, so I can watch your show before it comes out on the Motor Trend. That's crap. Come on, guys. He's already paying his money. Give it to us from. So anyway.
It's hard. It's because right now I think we're so in transition as technology goes, right? We can't stop doing cable because there's a lot of folks who won't go digital, but then we can't stop doing digital because there's a lot of people who don't have cable. So you have to have both of them, and you're in this weird trying to make everybody happy, and how do you start pushing people over to digital? Like it's a whole mess right now, and everybody's just trying to navigate it as best they can.
Right. Well, and then after all the magazines and all that, then I saw the switch to the app. So
yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, where's the pride in that? My car just made it on this app. Who cares? There's where's the status in that? My car's been in Hot Rod Magazine. That's the biggest thing you could ever say. Hot Rod Magazine, Car Craft, Super Chevy. Come on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So sad.
Times are changing, Jeff. Times are changing.
Right.
You have to speak up. I'm old. I can't hear. Huh?
That'd be me.
Well, go give her a follow at Bogi's Garage.
Yeah.
And pick up your T-shirts at Girl Gang Garage. And then Tech Force Foundation, where can if there's any girls out there that want to learn how to weld, or if any girls out there that are angry at metal and want to learn how to beat on metal and have make something pretty out of some beaten metal, how do they learn that?
There's a ton of classes that are offered all over the country, but you can definitely sign up for notifications about classes that we have at Girl Gang Garage, and we can get you signed up for taking a class there. And then if you're interested in pursuing it as a career path, either male or female, Tech Force Foundation has a ton of scholarship resources and tools for future technicians. And there's a link to their scholarship resources on my Instagram, the link in my bio. So it'll take you right there. So there's a ton of opportunities out there for both men and women in the automotive industry. And I don't know that that's coming up too bright.
That's all right. I'm trying.
Too bright. I appreciate the effort. You get an A for effort, Jeff.
Yeah. And we've talked about it. We've talked about with several guests we've had on the show here. Just the automotive industry has got a lot of opportunities. There's probably going to be shortages of mechanics. Me and Joe Zoper talked about that on podcast. There's going to be people hiring all this stuff. There's going to be a shortage. Even welders.
There is already. There's a huge shortage. Shops all over the country are desperate for good people. And I hear the same thing everywhere all over the country and Canada and quite frankly across the pond too. Like this is a serious worldwide trade deficit, and we're feeling it now, but if we don't do something about it, if we don't change our thinking as a society about the trades and about how we help our kids choose the right career paths for them, like if we don't change this, we're going to be in a crisis. Like people don't think about it, but how do you buy anything? How does anything get to the store? How does anything get from Amazon to you? Oh, that's right. Cars and trucks and trains and buses and all of these transportation devices that we need people to be able to fix so that our society can run. Like there's a reason why technicians were essential workers, right? Because the parts of the economy that were still going, we needed technicians to keep those parts of the economy going. And if we don't have those people,
it's like why are truck drivers? Yeah, truck drivers are essential workers. Why? 3 days without trucks, the country is stopped. No fuel, no food, no nothing.
Yeah, right. And people don't necessarily think about that. And I'm hopeful. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm hopeful that some of this shutdown is bringing to awareness that fact. Like we need these people We need all of us, the trades, those of us who are out there working with our hands to keep cars on the road and trucks and transportation, the whole transportation industry and the supply chain in general. Like, we don't think about it, but if we don't do something about this trade deficit, we're going to be in crisis in a really short amount of time in this country.
Right.
I agree.
And yeah, so thanks for teaching all these people to that. I mean, that's and get people interested in the industry.
Yeah.
And
there's a ton of great jobs. There's a ton of money.
Yeah.
There's a ton of opportunity. There's a ton of satisfaction and enjoyment in a career in the trades.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us today. And we'll have to do our end of the year podcast, or obviously, hopefully we'll meet up at SEMA.
I hope so.
Hope we can all meet up there. So, and then you can meet Nora and Nelson Gill, great guys. So you gotta meet those guys if you haven't already. So let's meet up there, and hopefully we'll do a show at the end of the year and see where we're at.
Sounds good. Thanks for tolerating my soapbox.
Oh no!
Geez. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, taking the time to spend with us. I will see you at SEMA. Where you and Dwayne can learn me some welding, and then I hope to see you again at the Good Guys Scottsdale.
Deal.
All right, good deal.
All right. Be
Thanks
good,
a lot,
guys.
Bogi.
Take care. Bye.
Adios.